Hi, my name is Sevetri Tailor, and welcome to my home here in the Lower Garden District in historic New Orleans. My name is Sevetri Tailor, and I am a tech founder, entrepreneur, and author. I am originally from Louisiana, and you're sitting here in my home in the Lower Garden District in New Orleans, which is so close to my heart. It's where my husband and I first met, it's where we had our first child, it's where we have built our home, and we're really excited to show you what we love most about New Orleans and how we have included that in the decor in our home here. This is our sitting room. It's the first thing when you enter the house, and it is absolutely one of my favorite rooms. Here, we completely changed the drapery to kind of go with the undertone of the room. Went with a triple French pleated curtain in oatmeal. One thing that we wanted to make sure is that we didn't go too bold of a color with the drapery, but one that would complement the wallpaper. And so when we think about the wallpaper here, it was truly inspired by Chinese modern art. We wanted to really focus in on the gold tones and the brown tones, starting with our sofa here. And it has really held up over the years. And so it has been a true compliment to this space in this sitting room. When we think about the rug, we wanted to pull on some of the different textures that could bring in this room together, and flowing with gold hue, natural tint that really played on some of the other gold tones here. So this is my kitchen. On first sight, you probably think, oh, not true to New Orleans, right? Very light, modern, white tones. But when you really get into it, you see the textiles here. We found them on a building in the French Quarter that was actually being destroyed, and we were able to pull and reclaim some of the textiles from there and actually use it. When I think about this kitchen and the lighting, it was something that was super important to me, and we went with an off-white Roman shade. There's so much natural light in this room. It was important for us to ensure that we didn't block out that natural light. And so these shades are perfect. We're able to use them in a way that is perfect for our lifestyle. They are completely motorized, and you can easily move the shades up or down. So as we move into our living space, one thing that immediately captures people's eyes are our draperies here. And so when I was trying to decide which drapery to put in here, I knew that I had to go the opposite of a dark color and continuously brighten the space. And so I went with this textured metallic off-white drapery, and it was perfect. As soon as my friends walked into the room, they were like, "What did you do to the place?" I was like, it's the drapery. It completely changed everything about the dynamic of this room. When I think about my aesthetic, it's very modern with a little rustic appeal. So you will see a lot of woods, not only in our tables, but in our chairs. As we move to the living room area, the drapery continues here, where we kept the metallic textured off-white drapery throughout the living room area. Continues to brighten up the space, which we love. This is my son's nursery. He is 4 months old, and when we were thinking about how to design his room, we knew we wanted it to be timeless. And for us, timeless means blues and neutrals and pinstripes, very much so like that Ralph Lauren look and feel. That's kind of what we were going for without being exact. When we kind of came in and looked at his crib, we got a lot of different things with his name on it. The rug itself, also that pinstripe pattern, like a gray blue overtone. When I saw this Roman shade, I knew that it would be perfect for this room. The pinstripe blue that we could pull up or pull down to let in natural sun into the room was truly perfect, and it really captured the essence of what we wanted this room to feel. So I really want to talk about a little of the artwork on our walls in our hall. As you come into our home, you're first greeted with this poster. It was the 50th anniversary Jazz Fest poster. Here you have some of the most iconic musicians from New Orleans, from Big Frida to Louis Armstrong in this painting. And it's such a recollection of not only our history and our culture, but the people that are our culture bearers that make it so special. So Jazz Fest is such a huge part of our memory and of the history of New Orleans in general. So welcome to our hallway guest bathroom. This wallpaper is really special because one, a friend of mine actually made it, but it has unique places all across New Orleans that are significant. The first is Armstrong Park. So when I saw that in this wallpaper, I knew I had to have it. Second, here you'll see the Zulu Parade. And so you'll see a photo of the Big Shot Parade, and everyone knows Mardi Gras is a big part of New Orleans culture. And the artist was just able to just capture all of those significant pieces here in this wallpaper. Before we even started this journey to redo our home with new drapery and curtains, we started asking friends, where do you go to find the best drapery and the best curtains? And they kept saying 2 pages, 2 pages. I was like, okay, let me go check these guys out. And I was blown away by not only different styles, but the vast selection that we could choose from. And I knew that it was the perfect home for us to not only find what we needed, but then to get it properly installed. And when we did that, it literally brought the home to life. And I was so lucky and fortunate to be able to find 2 pages. Thank you for coming into my home and letting me take you on this amazing tour of my spaces and the place where I and my family rest their head. If you're thinking of one thing for your home design, stay true to yourself. That's all that matters.